Rescue. So if the person dies, it's not the ambulance, it's not the fault of the person that called the ambulance, that person's died. So if they died and they put them, you're just saying now because the person is dead, they shouldn't put them in the ambulance. It's okay, well, you brought an ambulance, it's for conveying living people. This is the resistance I talked about. Please, my brother, let me beg you. Please, let's use ambulance for the living, all right? And let's use hearse for the dead, okay? Except in the village matters I talked about. But otherwise, ambulance is for the living, hearse is for the dead. Are we agreed on that? Can we proceed? Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. And, okay. Technically, all the days of the week have names. All the days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and all of that. The only 3 days that don't have a name, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, they don't have a name, okay? So please, today is Tuesday, tomorrow is Wednesday. You can say tomorrow. But after tomorrow, that day has a name. What is it? Thursday. Please avoid next tomorrow. Next tomorrow is not there at all. Huh? I know how it sounds to you. Is it the same next tomorrow we've been using? Like, no, please, I beg you. Avoid it, okay? Avoid next to you. You're looking for it, okay, to find it here, okay. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday are the days of the week. So tomorrow, yesterday, today, and tomorrow are the days that don't have names. Okay. Like in our languages, we have the day before yesterday. In our vernacular, we'll have names. The day after tomorrow, or the day after the day after the day, have names for them. Huh? In Igbo, there's one name of the brother of tomorrow. When is he coming? He's coming one Nechi. In English, it's acceptable in Igbo. I have no problem with it. But in English, please use the name of the day. It's coming on Tuesday, on Thursday, on Friday, okay? Thank you very much. So, now these are some of the most commonly abused words you can meet. We'll quickly rush through them. If you have any issue with any of them, please let us know. You hear can be able. I can't be able to come tomorrow. You can use can and be able at the same time. Can means the same thing as be able. So you can use can and be able together in a sentence. I can do it, I can't do it. I'm not able to do it. Can you make it on Tuesday? Yes. Will you be able to make it on Tuesday? Yes. But can you be able to make it on Tuesday is wrong. That's what I'm saying. Can and be able are the same thing. Can is the ability to do something. Can you speak French? Can you be able to speak French is grammatically wrong. That's the point I'm making. Does anybody have a question about can and be able? So next time you use can and be able together, you're waving a flag, this red flag that you wave and say, look, I'm a dummy. It's only dummies who use can and be able together. Persons who know, because we assume that today you know. So please, you can use can and be able some at the same time. The same thing with must. To take part in this class, you must register. To take part in this class, you have to register. So must and have to cannot be used together. You must have to. So from today, no more must have to. Must or have to. To vote, you must be up to 18. To vote, you have to be up to 18. There's no to vote, you must have to be up to 18. So must and have to cannot be used together, side by side, in a sentence. Have I achieved understanding? Am I making sense? Does anybody have any objection? Same thing for with please. Please lend me your pen. Kindly lend me your pen. Please pass the salt. Kindly pass the salt. It shocks me when I hear a radio presenter, dear announcer, please kindly play a good. And I say, is this person stupid? Yes, maybe it is. So you can't use please and kindly together in the same sentence. Either please or kindly. Kindly tell your sister her mail has arrived. Please tell your sister her mail has arrived, but not please kindly. Does that make sense? Please and kindly mean just about the same thing. Well, I know if I say so therefore, you say nobody says so therefore any longer. But people still say so therefore. So therefore, have you heard so therefore? People say so therefore. So I'm pleading with you, please don't use so and therefore together. Still yet. We told him, still yet he refused and went ahead and did it. So still and yet cannot co-occur in a sentence. We told him, still he went ahead and did it. We told him, yet he went ahead and did it, but not still yet. Please, do we understand? Anybody have a problem with still yet? Okay. Now, this is tricky. I prefer rice to beans. I prefer rice to beans. You prefer something to another thing. But I would rather have rice than beans, rather than. So it's wrong to say I prefer rice than beans. You prefer something to another. I prefer one thing to another. Do you understand that part? I prefer rice to beans. I prefer Enugu to Jos. Jos is too cold. I would rather live in Enugu than in Jos. So prefer to rather than. Now this is another one you have a problem with. Mix and mix up. To mix up is to confuse. Your name is John, he's James, your brothers. I see you, I call you James. Say, no, it's my brother. So I'm mixing up your names. You buy gari and rice, you put them in a bag. Have you noticed that they say these black cellophane bags they do now are very thin, they tear often. Sometimes they double it. They want to buy okra and they even say they double it. So if it's not doubled, they tears. The gari mixes up with the beans, which is not a very good thing. Mix up is not a very good thing. But mix is good. Mix is to blend. Put cocoa, put milk, sugar, and then mix. That is mixing. The same way with people. You can mix well with people. This person socializes well, so he mixes well. It shocks me when I hear that. I like him. Like he mixes up well with people. He mixes up well. Do you understand what I'm just saying? You don't understand. Am I talking above your heads? When you say mix up is negative. When somebody blends well, he mixes well with people. He doesn't mix up well with people. He mixes well. Now, to seek is to look for. Seek. You can't be seeking for attention. He's seeking attention. Seek is to look for, ask for, search for. He's seeking further knowledge. So he went to do a PhD. He's seeking. He's not seeking for. To seek is to look for or search for or ask for. So you don't seek for, you seek. So seek stands on its own. Finally, last. This course will last 5 weeks. It won't last for 5 weeks. It will be on for 5 weeks. So it will last 5 weeks. It's not lasting for. Does that make sense? There are lots and lots of times you hear it lasted for too long. It lasted too long. It didn't last for, it lasted too long. Now, this part I hear a bit of, I don't know whether you have. What of your brother? I met him 2 years ago at a conference in Abeokuta. What of Johnson, your brother? What of him? Like, how is he? Now, what of? You hear what of, don't you? What of your brother? What of that book I gave you last week? Like, where is it? Have you read it? What of? Now, you did some laundry and somebody says, let's go out. of if? I hear it sometimes and I wonder, what does it mean? What of if? You've never heard it. You are lucky. You're very lucky. No? Where you operate, they don't speak words, things like what of if. But unfortunately, I meet people who say what of if. And it frightens me. So you can say what of, you can say what if, but please don't ever say what of if. Does it make sense to you? Do you have any questions? Please ask me. Ask. I'd like you to go with the full understanding of what you just said. I can't leave you with half-baked notions of what I said. Change the seat. Daniel. Thank you. Daniel, you just damaged that. No, you did. You just get his details. You just damaged the seat. So that's the middle one. What of if? I don't know what this means. This particular one. What of if? I know what if it rains. I know what of. But that final one, I really do not know what it is. Okay, so what do you do with the disease? Do you contact or do you contract a disease? Yeah, they now whisper. Nobody wants to contact. Look it up, look it up, look up. Contact, contract. We need to know, not contract. Contract is a noun. And I said contract as a verb. This guy looking at me like, no, this guy can't change this thing. You know you, You contract? Does it say so in your dictionary? Google. Oh, Google says you contract a disease. You trust Google? Final answer. Contract, not contract is noun. Contract is verb. Hello? I'm listening. That's a contract. That's a noun. Look for verb where it has. There should be V. You have contract, noun. There's contract, V. Good. Go on. Next meaning. Good. Another meaning. Another meaning. Become infected with a disease. So you contract a disease. It's contract. You contract a disease. So please, you heard, you contract a disease, you don't contact Ebola. Or this one that happens to the eye. What is it called? You know the Igbo name? What's okay? Hi, you're welcome. Please, you may sit here. Let's get the muffler. What's the thing that happens to the eye? What's it called? Red eye, redness of the eye. Apology, good name, yeah. What is it? Conjunctivitis. Right. That's good. I'm not saying forget that. I'm following the national right? Sorry about that. Okay, sorry. It's so you contract infective conjunctivitis. You don't contact it. The same way you contract diseases that happen, infections that are seasonal, like HIV, like this one that was repeated to have killed some people, where they weren't sure that COVID-19. Okay, you're welcome. Please, what's your name? Gloria Ofo Anyebunam. Ufu Anyebunam. My name is Jika Ato, and these are my friends. Gloria, you're welcome. Registered for what course? What course did you register for? I beg pardon, graphics. Okay, graphics. Okay. So what we're doing should be relevant to you too. We said for the benefit of our friends, some of them register for graphics too. It's a mixed class, some for journalism, others for presentation, others for video editing, audio editing. Okay, so it's a mixed class, but we're doing the basic things that concerns all of us, which is effective communication. Yes, we said that when you're in the graphics, you might be tempted to use the word bogus. You know the word? What does it mean? No, when you do this, does it mean this or that or like? Yes, exactly. Too big, yes, that's. Are you walking out of? Okay, please. Two at the same time? No. This I. Okay, I believe you. So, Gloria, you are convinced that it has to do, it's not medial size, it's large or massive for focus. Okay. Do you have a phone? Not exactly. Do you have a dictionary in your phone? This type they look up words. Do you? Open mine? No, mine doesn't. Okay. Yeah, I'm convinced. I'm not sure mine. Mine is French, Spanish. Let's see if it has an English translation. I'm studying Spanish because I want to relocate. Can you read the meaning? Bogus. If you raise your voice, I can hear you. Not genuine. Counterfeit. Sham. Bogus, yes, fake. Okay, that's all right. So, good. So the theme, the basis of what's the problem? You don't agree. You still want to go back to bogus for size, right? I know. Deep down, it's we said I appeal to them that because they have come here, they must make a conscious commitment to unlearn some of the things they came with. Take out some of the junk in their package so that they can fit it with the new stuff. Like learning that bogus has nothing to do with size. It's fake, it's not genuine, it's counterfeit. That's bogus. So if we learn that, we graciously appeal to you not to go back to. Yes, ma'am. Please. You can do this if you feel like it. So we're at the point where I was saying we agreed on that. A conscious willingness to unlearn some of the things we learned and then accept the new information. And the only way we can do it is if we drop some of the old information we had. That's the only way we can accept the new. So please. And what's this vehicle? They use the moving body, they call it dead bodies to the ambulance. Yes, ambulance. They call it ambulance. What do you call it? You don't know the actual name. It's the same. It's the same word actually. It's called ambulance. Yes, I'm trying to figure out why do they call it ambulance. What's an ambulance? Ambulance, right? Okay. Okay, there it is. Can you look up the meaning? What does it say? How would they want to do it? I think I told you it's in Portuguese. Okay, this is the English version. A vehicle. Sick. A vehicle equipped for transporting the injured or the sick to hospital, right? Good. Did they mention dead there? So you see, that's the ambulance. So for all the time we've been using ambulance to refer to this, it's the wrong notion actually. That wasn't what we meant. What we actually meant was this. See definition 3. The word is hearse. What definition 3? Hearse. Yes. Let me see. This is it. Yes. It's called a hearse. Okay. Good. So we made the point that ambulance is for moving the living, not the dead. And the hearse moves the dead. So we need to know these things. Okay? Thank you. In the same way, we were discussing some of these that we said we don't contact, but we contract an infection. That's what we were at when you came in. Like infective, you helped us with conjunctivitis. Apollo, yes. So we contract, we don't. Now, to discuss is to talk about. I hear you've been discussing me when I'm not around. You've been talking about me. To discuss is to talk about. So you can't discuss about. To discuss is to talk about. So it should be ungrammatical to say you discuss about. Today we are going to discuss common errors in spoken language. Today we're going to discuss effective communication. That means you're going to talk about effective communication, not discuss about. So you don't discuss about, you discuss or you talk about. Clear enough? Any questions? You look bemused, like, is this guy sure that discuss about is not? So I'd like you to know, you don't discuss about, you discuss or you talk about. You can't discuss about, you can discuss or you can talk about. To repeat is to do again. I don't know, when we went to school, if you didn't do a walk right, the teacher would write repeat in red. It means do it again. And if you say something, I didn't get it clearly, please, can you just repeat what you said? It beats me when I hear things like repeat again. Repeat is to say it again or to do it again. So you can't repeat again because repeat is to do again. We went to his house, but he wasn't there. So we shall repeat at 2 o'clock. Go again at 2 o'clock. What did you just say? Will you repeat? Not repeat again. So repeat is to do again or say again. So you don't repeat again. Now to pretend is to do as if. I walked in and you all pretended to be serious. I heard your noise. I heard the noise out there. But when I walked in, everybody pretended to be busy. Not pretended as if. You did as if you were busy. That is to pretend. So you can't pretend as if. I beg you. You can't pretend as if. So if you've been pretending as if up to this point, How old is your grandmother? You're already dead. Oh. I was say if your grandmother dies and you go for the you want to hire an ambulance for then the 20,000 naira for the pay your 20,000 naira and let them hire an ambulance. Don't tell them the price. The price difference. For purposes of this meeting, let's give it price. I was at the bottom of the You're welcome. Are you part of this meeting? Oh, great. What's your name? Chidiebere Samuel. Chidiebere Samuel Chijioke. Okay. That's good. What's your surname? Chijioke. Okay, I just needed to get it right. I'm sorry about it. It's not very strong, so I just need to get it. So I don't call you and that guy. Don't stand beside him. He's very tall. Don't ever make the mistake of standing beside him, right? Okay. Yeah, but you're welcome. We were discussing some of these matters. We said that you can't discuss about. You can talk about, right? What did you register for? Production. Oh, that's great. That's great. That's my area. Okay, I'll join you there. So you can't pretend as if. Are we agreed on that? You can pretend or you can do as if. In like manner, you cannot return back. To return is to go back or take back. Now I'm going to sell this to you. When you return the bottles, we give you. When you return back, you don't return back. Return is to go back or take back. You understand? Return is to go back or take back. The same thing with reverse. I know you call it reverse, but reverse is to go back. You can't reverse forward, so there's no back in reverse. Your reverse is to go back. Return is to take back or give back. I learned you some books, you have not returned them back. So return does not go with back. Is that clear enough? Please, if you have any issues with any of the things we are saying, let's know so we can correct it immediately. So you don't reverse back, you don't return. Now, henceforth means from now, from this minute, is henceforth. Henceforth, nobody argues with me. That is beginning from now. Nobody is allowed to argue with me. From now, henceforth. Because from now means henceforth. Beginning. So you say, from now is the same as henceforth. So when you hear from now, henceforth, something is wrong. You know that something is decidedly wrong. Do we agree on that? Please, if there's any disagreement, let's settle it so that we don't leave it behind. So finally, there are some things you do I find unacceptable. I'll name them. I said there are certain things you do I find unacceptable. Listen to me. There are some things you do I find unacceptable. There are certain things you do I find unacceptable. The same thing as said. So you can't say there are some certain things you do I find unacceptable. Do you understand that? Exactly. Some and certain cannot go side by side in the sentence. Good. Glad we have agreement on this. So some and certain do not co-occur in the sentence. It's either some or certain. There are some persons who can take correction. There are certain persons who can take correction. So you can't ever say there are some certain. No, it's not unacceptable. Okay. We'd like to apologize really for the interruptions. That's made it impossible for us to have a smooth sailing session, particularly with our online participants. So if they're online, can you hear me online? Can we get your responses, your reactions? You've been following us up to this point. If you kindly identify yourself, make some input, we'll appreciate that. If you tell us your name, yes, and then your contribution. If you have a question or an input. Have you followed us? Have you followed us up to this point? Yes. If you say your name, you can go ahead and make your contribution. Dreamer, I salute you. Yes, I just saw you there. I didn't know. I thought that's Dreamer is one of our head facilitators. Presentation.
Yes, thank you, Jikatu.
Can we hear Rime?
Yes, I can hear you, Jikatu. I must be very grateful. I must be very grateful to the establishment we all belong to, and those who are here at the finishing school, the West Africa Broadcast.
Can you hear Rime there?
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
All right. Yes, I want to say that I must be very grateful to the establishment we all belong to, the West Africa Broadcast and Media Academy, the finishing school, and with the managing director, Jikato, taking the first class. I want to say I've learned a lot from him because I'm still learning, even though I'm a graduate of English, spoken English. I've learned a lot today, and so many things I normally take for granted will be corrected from now on. It's a pity some students have not been able to tell me, sir, this expression is wrong. You don't say, so therefore, again, reverse, you know. All what Jikato is saying is that do not use words that will confuse the listener. So keep it short and simple. Be brief. Brevity is the name of the game. Keep it short and simple. Kiss. So thank you, Jikato. Keep on the good work.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Rime. Rime, as I said, is our head facilitator presentation. He's in Lagos. So do we get any reaction from other participants online? Please, yes, can you, let's hear you. Say your name and go on. We're listening. Unmute your
name. I have been following from the beginning to the end.
We haven't got to the end yet. We haven't got to the end yet.
Okay, I've been following from the beginning to now, and
yes,
I think I have learned a lot, like the word ambiguous. I've actually had a wrong perception towards it. But I think now I know better. So I'm
Thank
following.
you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I guess the word is bogus. Yes. Now you know better the word bogus.
Okay,
Yes.
bogus.
And yes, bogus. Yes, not ambiguous. And while we are still on it, but you said but, I think it's but. But is a short sound, but I hear but a lot. But is a modern version of but. But you don't know, but I don't know. But I don't know what but is. But is like BUR. So please, let's note that it's not but. I'm hungry, but no. It's a but. It's a short sound. But are we clear on that? So but is not there at all. I didn't know where they picked it up from.
But
Can we get your contribution? This is Tonia. Yes, Tonia, can we hear you? Unmute your phone.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
All right. I really enjoyed the class. First and foremost, I really enjoyed the class. And I've also learned a lot today, especially the bogus. And what else? We talk about level of competence, the unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, and the unconscious competence. I've learned that today. And although sometimes we couldn't get what you were saying. So,
Okay,
but from the little, yes, I couldn't get it. But from the little I was able to derive from today's class.
You couldn't understand what you explained about the levels of competencies, unconscious incompetence?
No, I understood everything. Thereafter, we couldn't get it because of the sound.
Sound. That is sound.
Yes.
If any part you specifically don't understand, please mention it. We can go back to it. Graciously mention.
Okay. You were talking about, you talked about, I forgot the word.
Now, why don't you write it down, write it somewhere, and then we can come back to you in a moment, okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So, do we get any responses from here? We have the responses from them. It appears that bogus seems to be the favorite words today. Everybody is being Chijoke. Okay, yes, you're Chijoke, yes. What's the word bogus? You know it? You're going to ask me. You're a very smart young man. You, this guy, you say, I like his style. You're going to ask me the meaning of bogus. You never heard the word bogus? What does it mean? When you heard of it, what are they referring to? Were they a car or a motorcycle, or what are they referring to? A plane? Or what was bogus referring to when you heard it? Before you ask me, I'll ask you first. What does bogus mean?
Okay. I feel it's something that is unnecessarily big.
Unnecessarily. I like the word unnecessarily. Okay. Unnecessarily big.
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't stand, you can tell us your own understanding of bogus. Daniel. Speak up so that we can hear you.
Bogus is something that is not real.
Not
real.
Not real.
Something that is
okay, give him. Please stretch your hand back. What's bogus?
not genuine.
Not genuine, yes.
Fake.
Huh? Fake, yes. Fake, counterfeit. You heard. It had nothing to do with size. It really doesn't have anything to do with size. I didn't know. They brought my attention to it. They said bogus. They said, what does it mean? So we went to the dictionary and then we found out. So this morning we all learned that bogus has nothing whatsoever to do with size. He didn't have a bogus shirt or the carton was too bogus. He couldn't go into the PT. No, no, no. Okay. So we understand that. We agreed on that. So these are some of the other misused expressions we have in the language. Some certain. We didn't say some certain. There are some things we don't understand. There are certain things we don't understand. The same thing with please and kindly. We don't say please kindly. Even if you hear it sometimes on radio, dear announcer, please kindly play a good for the listening pleasure. It's not grammatical. Please and kindly. Use one. Please help me with this assignment. Kindly help me with this. Please tell your brother I'd like to talk with him this evening. Kindly tell your brother I'd like to talk with him this evening. Not please kindly. They can't go together. So same thing with return back. You don't return back. You return or you go back or you take back. Repeat. You had a lot of people say repeat again. You don't repeat again. You say again or you repeat. Can you repeat what you just said? If you repeat it again, I'll deal with you. You repeat again. Remember, you don't repeat again. You repeat. Okay. And then some certain. We said that some things you do are unacceptable. Certain things you do are unacceptable. We said discuss at the beginning. Discuss is to talk about. So it would be incorrect to say you discuss about me. You talk about me or you discuss me in my absence. Is that clear enough? Do we need to expand any of these things? Have we achieved understanding? Are there any questions? Now, though you may not understand what we're saying, you're listening. Though I was hungry, I did not eat your meat. I was hungry, but I did not eat your food. So it is not grammatical to say, though I was hungry, but I did not eat your food. It's grammatical to say, though I was hungry, I did not eat your food. I was hungry, but I did not eat your food. So though and but cannot occur in a sentence at the same time. Do you understand that? Is there any confusion about that? Though and but cannot occur together in a sentence. Though I was hungry, I did not eat your food. I was hungry, but I did not eat your food. So we can use though and but side by side, occurring simultaneously. Now, this is something I hear a lot of. You take serious. You take something seriously. Take serious is, I think it's Yoruba. Abi Igbo. Abi? Okay. So you take something seriously. Hey, you're laughing. You're not taking me seriously. That's it. Take me seriously. You don't take it serious. Serious is an adjective. Seriously is an adverb. Slowly, seriously. He walks slowly. You take something seriously. Do we understand that part? Okay. Now, this upstairs is another Nigerianism. We live in the second upstairs, the yellow upstairs down the road. The building is a story building. A story building or a storied building. The one that doesn't have layers is called a bungalow. The one that has layers is called a storied building. Upstairs is not a noun representing building. Now listen to this carefully. Upstairs is a location in a building. We're now at the WABMA facility. Downstairs is the library. Upstairs are the lecture halls. Upstairs. That second building on the left. There's a pharmacy on the ground floor. Upstairs is a restaurant. That's where we eat. Upstairs is a location. But upstairs is not a building. Do you understand that? You have any question? How do you say story building in Igbo? Yeah, that's a story building. It's not upstairs. You understand that? Ask. I can't hear. I can't. No. Upstairs does not represent a building. And then you can't say upstairs, you say upstairs. Yes, upstairs is correct. It's a location in a building. Where is it? He has just gone upstairs. Upstairs literally means upstairs steps. He has gone upstairs. Can you call him, ask him to come down? Right? Yes, ask. Just them. I like this. It's just them. It's just they're not representing anybody. It doesn't. Upstairs is a location in a building, just like downstairs is a location in a building. No, there's not like upstairs. Now, this is another Nigerianism, which we need to check. Take the light. They have taken the light. They don't take the light. Let's even agree on the matter. Listen, this microphone is not working with light. Do you understand? The television is not working with light. The camera is not working with light. This ability to see our online friends is not working with light. It's working with power, electricity. So when it's interrupted, they've interrupted the power or the electricity. They have not taken the light. Because technically, if we were to switch off all these things, there's still light. Do you understand? There's sunlight, there's daylight. There's light. It's not light. Nobody has touched the light. So light does not mean power. It's a Nigerianism where light and power mean the same thing. Electricity is not light. Electricity powers the TV, the computer, all the other gadgets. It charges your phone. It's not light that charges your phone. Charge the phone. No, we don't have light. You have light. There's daylight. But you don't have power or electricity. So they don't take the light. What they do is they cut the power, or there's a power outage. So take the light is a Nigerianism. They have taken the light. The multimonal. Huh? Well, Oku and power mean the same thing for you. Fire, light, electricity, everything is Oku. You know? So when they've taken the, the power, the light, the electricity, but in English, it's not taking the light. Please note, you don't use lights to operate any of these things. You use electricity or power. So they can't bring back the light. They took the light, they bring back the light. So you can't bring back the light or take the light. You can restore power. Have they restored power? No, they come and charge your phone. They just restored power or electricity, not light. It's a mindset of light being that, the bulb. That's light. But every other thing does not use light. The bulb uses power, electricity, not light. Do we understand that? I can't hear. What? There's been a power cut. There's been a power outage. Power. Her question, what do you say when the power is not there? There's been a power outage or there's been a power cut. They have not taken it. They have taken is the literal translation of the thing in the vernacular. That they have actually taken the light. They have not taken it. It's an outage or a cut. So it's not light that was taken. It's a power that was cut or interrupted. So again, please listen to this very carefully. You do not say on or off when you talk of appliances. On the TV, off the gen, off the light, off the microphone. No, you don't. It's not grammatical. She's looking at me like, really? What do you say? You heard? You say turn off or switch off. Switch off the lights. Please switch on the house lights. You don't on the lights. Can you please switch on the TV? When you're stepping out, kindly switch off the house lights. You're going downstairs, help me turn off the generator, not off the gen. On or off is ungrammatical. When you use it, you're waving a red flag and saying, I'm a dummy. When you say on the TV, on the light, on the generator, on the mic or off the mic, he's talking, please on the mic for him. That is, you're waving a flag saying, I'm a dummy. Switch on, turn on, switch off, turn off. Does that make sense? Please switch off the lights. Turn on the TV. Let's hear what's on the news. Not on the TV or off the. On or off are not verbs. You're asking him to do something. And verb is a doing word. So turn or switch is a doing word. Turn on the light or switch on or switch off. Does that make sense? So please, if you've been saying on or off the light, please do not any longer say on or off the light. Say switch on, or turn off. Turn off the light. Now, this is a critical one about vehicles that move. Listen to this part. You take a vehicle. You don't join a bus or enter a bus or enter a taxi or enter a plane. You actually take. I'm going to Joe Legba. Please take a bus at Stadium. Get off at Surulere. Take, get off. You take, get on a bus at New Market. Get off at IMT. You don't join or enter. Then getting off, you don't drop or stop or get down. You get off. Somebody asked me, if you're in a bus, what do you say to the guy? Owa. You can say Owa. Or Gapu. But if you have to say it in English, I'll get up at the next bus stop. Get off. Not drop. You don't drop. You don't get down. You don't stop. Then you take. You don't enter. You don't board. Now let's talk about boarding, because somebody mentioned this something. We're going to board a. You're not boarding. Listen to this carefully. Boarding is a technical process. If you buy a ticket, you're going to fly to Abuja. You buy a ticket, you get a boarding pass. Then they'll announce. Rocky Airline flight 402 to Abuja is now boarding. It's now boarding. The airline is boarding. That is, passengers who are booked on this flight should proceed to board. Proceed to board is go on. They'll examine you have a ticket. Your ticket has a docket. They tear it and you give you one short part of it. That is the process of boarding. Then you get on the plane. That's boarding. What you're doing is you're taking a flight to Abuja. You're not boarding a flight to Abuja. Boarding is that technical process where you go show them your ticket, then you move on to the plane. That is boarding. Yes, ask. Come on board is a technical expression. What does it mean? Come on board. Yes, I didn't say. I said you don't board a taxi. You don't board a plane. You don't. It's not. To go on board again is a process. Come on board. He didn't say board. You have people say that we're boarding a taxi. We're boarding a bus. You don't board a bus. You don't board. You're taking them. How do you go to London? You take a flight to London. You take a flight. You don't board a flight to London. You take a flight to London. Question. Yes. Yes? You discovered something. Sir? What does it mean? What does it mean? Yeah, I'm asking, what does it mean? It could mean that. That's why we put it there with the question mark. Yes. So are there any questions? So you don't board. Boarding is a process, a technical process of getting on the aircraft. Let me say this for your benefit. Language is dynamic. Dynamic means it's not static, it's not stationary. It's influenced by time. It moves on. For instance, what's the meaning of dowry? Dowry. D-O-W-R-Y, dowry. Bride price, it says bride price, dowry. Okay. Dowry. D-O-W-R-Y, that's the spelling. The original meaning of dowry see? Oh, dowry is the money, property. Okay, you understand that? I don't know what you call it in Yoruba. You see that? In Igbo, what do you call it? Huh? Huh? No. Ngo is not dowry. Dowry is ifeji edunwanyi uno. You look at me like, you know what that means? In traditional society, you buy cocoyam, you buy a tripod, you buy a pot, and you buy fish, and so on. The day she's going back to her husband's house, you carry these things too. That is the dowry. She was endowed with this. That's what dowry is. Bride price is what the man pays. Why you didn't have it in the bride price in the Igbo man dictionary? Because the Igbo man doesn't have bride price in his language. That's why he had to call it here bride price. The price a man pays will get a bride. That's ego isi on a woman, the money you pay. That's what the word ngo. That's what bride price is, which you refund when you go, when you refund it when the marriage is not working any longer. You say, so this man knows it. Okay. So, but dowry is what a woman is endowed with, the things they give her to go to her husband's house, a car, a house, cocoyam, fish, bed, TV. This is what a woman takes to her husband's house at marriage. That is the dowry. But you have modified it now. Nigerians now say, look at this woman, I paid dowry on her head. Sorry. Sir, question. Okay. Look at this woman, I paid dowry on her. So we have come to accept it. That dowry could also mean bride price. They have now become interchangeable. But that's the dictionary meaning of dowry, which you just read. Property or goods or something which a woman takes to her husband's house at marriage is a dowry. It has acquired other. So I've said that the language is not static, it's dynamic. It changes or it's affected by the passage of time. Things affected. Yes, if you do. It's the idiom, yes. You disagree. He disagree vehemently. So, but I'm saying that it's dynamic. The language is affected by time. Same thing with the English language. But there are some things that have not changed yet. Ambulance has not changed to hers. It's still ambulance for the living, not for the dead. Okay. So, are there any questions? It appears the persons online don't have any distractions. They are following seriously. Okay. We will begin to round up at this point. As I said to you, there's quite a lot we can do on this subject. But so far, how have you found it? Huh? Great, interesting. You found it interesting. We agreed on that. That there are going to be some things that will be challenging. You'll be challenged to unlearn some of the things you had learned. Like this interesting. It's going to be a bit exacting, demanding of you to say interesting when you've said interesting up to this point. Development. The word embarrass. Can you say it? Embarrassment. Somebody face down, say no. Or embarrassment, because this man wants us to call embarrassment. God will say. Can we say embarrassment? Good. That's the word. Embarrassment. I was totally embarrassed by what you said in front of the principal. I was embarrassed. I found it embarrassing. It's an embarrassment. I know you can't say this man. I know how it feels. This man, he wants us to stop saying embarrass. Yoruba is embarrassing, with embarrassment. Embarrassing was very embarrassing. Very none. Okay. But if you can manage it, try. The difference between you making a distinct impression and you being ordinary, also ran, is when you get things right. If you're able to get things right, you make a distinct impression. Whoever you talk to goes away saying, yes, that girl knows what she's saying. That man, he actually said interesting, said embarrassing. Remember the 20% we talked about. Don't bother with the 80% who don't know it. It's a critical 20% that you need to worry about. Before you came, I said, I once gave this presentation course to a team of radio presenters. And one of them, one very hefty young man who is still on radio, said, excuse me, you mean all the time I've been saying bogus and doing my hand like that to mean, bogus. I must have been making a fool of myself. And I said to him, no. You'll be surprised that 80% of the persons in that class, in that hall, in that wedding, at that conference, didn't know that bogus has nothing to do with science. But I'm not bothered about that 80%. You shouldn't be bothered about the 80%. Worry about the 20% who know that bogus has nothing to do with science. They are the ones who will say, what is this fool saying? That fool standing there with the microphone, making a fool of himself, saying bogus and stretching his hand. So that's the critical 20% we need to worry about. And that's the 20% I want you to worry about. If you can get that 20% embraced, don't bother about the 80%. Are we clear on that?
Okay, you're done?
Yes.
Okay, for that, you're done.
So I want to thank you very much for your time. If you haven't any questions to ask, hopefully we may meet again before you complete your 5 weeks. But if we don't, it's been good meeting you. It's been great talking with you. I hope you have taken something away from this meeting. I hope you found it useful. I hope with time, you want to deepen your knowledge. See. So I thank you very much for your time. If there are any other questions, you can ask. If there aren't any questions, then I'd like to ask of you, please be consistent. Whenever you have to deal with language, be consistent. You are judged by your last performance. Nobody remembers what you did 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago. It's what you just did that they remember you by. So if you mess it up, say bogus when you mean large or fake, then you have a problem. If you use an ambulance for a hearse, then we have a problem. So there are lots of other things we'll talk about with time. But I'd like it to be consistent. Remember that consistency is it. If you learn some things today, please repeat it tomorrow. Go through it again and make sure you internalize it. It becomes part of you. That's the beauty of it. It's not getting it right today and then mixing it up tomorrow. Remember, mixing up different from mixing. So, are there any questions? The way, Chijoke, the way you're laughing at me, you say, look, this guy must be really ready. So, any questions? And any of the things we talked about? Okay. So we welcome you once again to WABMA. We hope you'll find your time here interesting. Huh? Chijoke, what did I say? Great. Find your time here interesting, right? We hope you find the time here interesting and it will be useful. It's not just what you learn, it's what you do with it. Remember, I said you are concerned not about the certificate, it's about the information and where you take it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Please, a round of applause for Mr. Ato. You're so lucky to have somebody so very vast in the language teaching you this morning. My name is Joseph Obari. I'm WABMA's registrar. He's my employer. I don't know who is Ogada, But I mean, it's a very important tool you're being given on the mastery of the language, and it serves you in so many ways. You may take it for granted that today most people say whatever they like, write whatever, but if you want to stand out, then you must have a mastery of the language. And whatever profession you made, that's why it is made compulsory for you to pass English at the school level, isn't it? Yeah. So some of these things that people say used in the expression in speaking English will shock you to be wrong. Well, like I came here with a car. Yeah. It has a different meaning already, isn't it? I came here with a car. Just think about it. Does it make sense? I came here with a car. It means that the car was there and I was here and we came together. Doesn't make sense. But we speak it in Nigeria, isn't it? I came here with a car. Now your teacher will tell you what that means. It's completely wrong. I have friends who, when I tell them certain things they speak in English and they are wrong, they are taught. I will say, I have told you severally that you should not do that thing. Severally. That is an English expression, a word that is meant to be used when you say severally, just several times. Several times and severally have two different meanings. Okay, so let me now continue your class. We have a lot that we are doing here today. People will be coming to engage you in different aspects of the courses we have in WABMA. We have those who handle journalism. You have the program already: digital marketing, graphic design, video editing, photography, and then media and society. Yeah, we have a repertoire of very experienced resource persons who will take you through all of this, just as you have seen in the last session. Yeah, so can you just tell me a bit of what you have gained, your name and what you've gained from this?
Okay, My name is Timothy, and Timothy Oringbemi. Okay. Timothy Oringbemi. That was the first thing I learned today. Your name first before your surname. Then another one I learned today was the word bogus. I was thinking bogus, something like that. I was thinking, yeah, something broad or wide. I came to understand that it's something fake or unreal, something like that. Yeah, exactly. So and more, yeah. So I came to understand that there are some times that we just make it simple and plain and clean. So instead of saying scintillate, diminutive, blah blah blah, it's better to just use the exactly. It's better to just use the trick to start that everybody understand.
Then make it clear. Make what you're saying clear.
And basic.
If you need to use those words, you know where you are. You are a reporter. You want to see those words. And when you're communicating with people, let me know I have a video. I always share it. So it's not to be said, you are responding to the fact. And all the words he used, nobody in the church, the audience could understand what he was saying. All were just unnecessary. Unless you want to sound like Patrick or Bible, you know, whom are you pressing? What are you trying to do? So, madam, what did you achieve?
Okay, today the word ambulance. So he taught us that it has nothing to do with the living, with the dead, but with the living. It's used to convey people that are sick to the hospital. The word that is for the dead is hearse. So he taught us to pronounce interesting, not interesting. Yes.
Yeah, so you find out that the society in which you live kind of affects what you do and how you talk. Because in Nigeria, the ambulance was being used for a purpose other than what it was meant to be for. So it is the head itself is a different kind of vehicle. If you like Google it, you will see that it is structured differently. It's structured to carry, to have the shape, it has the shape of a coffin. The back of it has the shape of a coffin. So it's actually designed for carrying bodies and possibly caskets. So because we don't buy that vehicle, or hospitals don't make provisions for it, they started using the ambulance, which should have been used for ordinary taking people to hospital for that purpose. So I'm giving you the context. It's not what you've learned is correct, but you should know that the vehicle that was used is being abused. In other words, the ambulance is being abused because the hospitals don't make provisions for that other vehicle. So it's very, very rich.
Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. We're soon going to round up. We'll invite the instructors for different classes, so they'll speak to you about it, and in the next 10, 15, 30 minutes maximum will be done. Okay, online, Mr. Petty, are you still there? I will allow me to please cue him, and when he's ready, let me know. Meanwhile, let's invite Mr. Israel Ndupe, who takes the class on digital marketing. So he will speak about that, and after him, someone else will come up to speak. Okay? Again, have you spoken about presentation and the shadow? Okay, I will bring that up. Okay, please welcome Israel Ndupe. Ndupe, Israel is a certified webmaster. He is also a certified ICT instructor. He is a certified programmer. He's also a certified digital marketer and a highly sought after one. And he's very experienced in this. So he will speak about digital marketing. Please come up. Madam, welcome. Welcome. Please sit down. And welcome. Okay, please sit down. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please sit. Please sit down. Welcome. Yes, so Israel will speak about the digital marketing and what you stand to get out of it, and what the course is about. That course is on strategic and digital marketing. Okay, please welcome Mr. Israel Ndukwe. All right.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. It's good to have everyone here. Okay, so quickly, let's run down and let me talk about digital marketing. I presume most of us know what digital marketing is about, but all the same, I will just quickly run through it. So marketing is marketing, but digital marketing is doing marketing where? Digitally. And if we understand, if we're following the trends, everybody has what? A smartphone. It tells you that the market, people now move with their devices every single way they go. It's in the kitchen, it's on the loo, it's everywhere. Okay. And what that now entails is that, you can reach people anywhere. So they don't need to watch their TV for you to communicate to them. They don't need to necessarily put on their radio stations, their radio to, get your message. You can reach them on their devices. So it makes it a very, very large market. Okay, so if you're doing anything and you're not making the most of digital marketing, then you're leaving money on the table. Okay, some of you probably must have heard about WABMA from the web because adverts were being run. Okay, and everything was going on. Okay, so digital marketing is very essential in everything you do. If you're in the radio space, you're a media practitioner, you also need these skills. Okay, because a whole lot is changing and you need to flow with the tide, even so you'll be left behind. Okay, things are changing like this by the second. Okay, that is why even every now and then we give courses because what we thought in the last session, some things would have changed. And so we always keep up to date, so we tell you what is currently working. Okay, so quickly, let me talk about the digital marketing course. There's a whole lot we're going to cover. In the course, we cover an introduction to digital marketing, and we run through some other sub-niches. Digital marketing is huge, is really big. So what we do is we cover, the sub-niches, okay? So in the course, we do an overview of digital marketing. We explain what digital marketing is, the types of digital marketing, and into social media marketing. And we get to talk about what social media marketing is, the benefits of social media marketing. I mean, it's not brainer that if you see where people spend their time, you need to your business there. Okay, so basically it is huge. Okay, and for anybody who is, no matter what you do, you need to understand what digital marketing is, and that in your business, in your endeavor, you're a journalist, you're a broadcaster. I mean, you can see people are going on YouTube. That's digital marketing. They're going on Facebook Live. It's digital marketing, because if you have something and you don't put it out there, then you're not making the most of it. Okay, so I look forward to seeing you, probably not in this session, but whenever, you can always come back and take the digital marketing course. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm everyone from Lagos. As many of you know, classes is fully digital, and that means that we can deliver classes from anywhere in the world. and to any student anywhere. As you can see online here, there are many people, many students online. We also have instructors online. One of the instructors online is Mr. Rima Efeti. He's a coordinator. Okay, and as we know, there are many instructors in presentation, including the executive Ejika Ato and many others. Rima Efeti will speak to you about the presentation classes. Rima, over to you. All right. The one that we need volume. Rima is in Lagos. Opion is Miss Opion is in Abuja. He takes the video editing. Opion, are you online? Are you ready? All right. While we're waiting for a connection.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm not ready yet, but
okay, it appears we're ready.
I'm not ready yet. I'm having some technical issues.
Okay. It was Opion that was speaking. Yeah. Okay, while we're waiting for them to get the online ready, we also have a class we've introduced, which no other institution runs, and that is a long course on graphics. Graphic design is a basic modern digital language now, and people need to learn it, and people make a lot of money from graphic design. One young man that's done very well with graphic design and is an instructor in WABMA and takes people on practical classes on graphic design is right here today. And while we're waiting for those online to get ready, let me invite, we call him Ejima because he's a twin. And the young Mr. Okeke is here. So may I please welcome Mr. Okeke to speak to us about the graphic design, the content of that course, and what you stand to get out of it. All right, please welcome Ejima.
So much, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gideon Chiedozie Okeke. My name is Chiedozie Gideon Okeke, and currently the graphic design instructor for WABMA. I believe that some of you are registered to be trained in graphics. So my assignment this morning is to go straight forward or straight to the point to explain what we expect in the coming few weeks. We're going to be taking weekly classes, two times in a week or 3 times as the case may be. And we intend to achieve at the end of that meeting or that course, that 5-week course, is that each of the participants will be able to learn the basics of graphics, learn everything that has to do with graphics, and be able to design their own and submit assignments as in regards to graphics. The first week, we are going to be dealing on introduction to graphics. We're going to learn the fundamentals of graphics and the softwares that we use in graphics and their interface, how these softwares work. And second week, we are going to be talking about the tools of CorelDRAW because we're going to be basing on CorelDRAW for the beginning part of the course. And we're also going to be talking about how to combine colors, and how to choose colors and fonts. The third week, we are going to be discussing or teaching or training on creative ideas for graphic works. During this period, we are going to also merge it with how you'll be able to design flyers, book formatting, ebook production, and print designs that can be printed. And the fourth week, we are going to dive into how to use Photoshop and how you can be able to use Photoshop to get what we call mock-up designs. Mock-up designs are creative representations of your work. Like some of you must have seen book presentations, like book covers that graphic designers do present to the public or to the owner, and it looks like a book standing. Meanwhile, the book have not been printed. These are what we call mock-up, and in the fourth week, we are going to be dealing on that and how to source files for your graphic works. And finally, in the fifth week, we are going to be having assessments, print designs, what print designs means actually, and the color codes you are supposed to use when you are dealing on print designs, and how to go about printing your work, even without having the machineries that is required. Then we're also going to be discussing the business of graphics, how you can be able to position yourself to be able to attract clients, paying clients that will pay for your work. At this point, I think I've exhausted my time. Thank you so much, sir, for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, he didn't tell you how much money he makes from graphics. I'll keep that a secret, but he does. And in the past 2 years or so, we have empowered more than nearly 100 students in graphics. It's a quick skill that we are teaching. And when we talk about WABMAD, you'll be able to learn that our core principle, one of our core mottos is getting young people to become professionals in the media so that they can become employers of labor rather than even waiting for jobs that do not exist. I understand that Rima Efeti is ready. Rima, are you ready?
Yes, if you can hear me, I can hear you. I can hear you very well.
Okay, please go right ahead and introduce yourself and your course.
As you've heard from Mr. Ike Okere, I am Rime Joseph Efetie. Our participants in the presentation department, I'd like to welcome you to the platform of content and creativity, where we shall establish you on the prestigious attributes of glamour, fame, and fortune. That's the hallmark of a presenter. You become very famous. There'll be a lot of attraction towards you because you have known how to speak right, say it right, because the society in which we live evaluates and classifies us by two important variables. What did you say? And how did you say? Did you say kudos? Did you say bona fide? Did you say experience the beauty of nature? So we shall take you through a presentation menu and serve you 10 modules consisting of how to become a confident speaker in the midst of so many people in the audience, the listener or the viewer. We shall also make you active in the presentation business, very confident, and we shall take you through a meal of about 500 words commonly mispronounced by Nigerians. Also, the basic presentation long course will take you through a menu called the features of connected speech, because we do not count our words, we don't pick our words. Words, we string words together to make them meaningful. We say them fluently without sounding jerky. So that's what is called the methodology of speaking fluently. That's why the presenter is different from the producer, the editor, the marketer. So everyone is invited to be part of the presentation course at the West African Broadcast and Media Academy. We shall take you what it entails to be the presenter in the continuity studio. We shall also let you know what to observe as a compere, as a master of ceremony. I believe that with these set objectives in the presentation department, we shall train you professionally to be among the next best generation of presenters in Nigeria and West Africa. Thank you, Mr. Ike.
Okay. And thank you very much. Please stay be on standby. A lot of people may have questions for you. We have one from Abuja, Mr. Efete spoke from Lagos. From Abuja is Mr. Ofion. Mr. Ofion takes the class on video editing, both the master class and the long course on video editing. We just introduced the video editing course this quarter for long course. It's been going on as a short course, but now it's upgraded to a long course. Ofion is an expert video editor, well sought after, and perhaps that's why he lives in Abuja. I know very well that he does very well. He's an international trainer in this field. Mr. Ofion, are you ready? Olamide, tech guys, is Ofion ready? All right. All right, Ofion, you're on mute. So it appears Ofion is not ready. So let's move on. I want to speak about WABMA before I go on to introduce our guests, and we'll eventually have other instructors speak about their courses later. Okay? WABMA is a professional media training institute. So far, it has campuses here in Enugu, in Abuja, and in Lagos, with campuses coming up in Accra, Ghana, and in Banjul, the Gambia. And its aim is simple. It is to raise media professionals, or raise people to become professionals of the 21st century in the media across the English-speaking West Africa. To achieve this mission, WABMA deploys technology at the very highest level. So in all through your course, you will be wherever you are in the world, assuming those of you who are in campus now, assuming in a particular week you will be away to the UK or whatever, you can take your courses online. And taking the courses online does not mean it has to be a live Zoom class, which you have to join at the time the instructor is giving it, which may not be convenient for you. So most WABMA courses have already made instructional videos. In some courses, as many as 20 modules. For instance, let's take a look at this. Olamide, can we go to, so let's say you're a student, so take a look at this, because all of you already, by the end of today, will be getting your passwords to your portal online. So let's go to, Olamide, go to the student portal or dashboard and get in. So you will get on the site after you get your password. And keep on going. I want the go to presentation, bring up module 4, the 500 mispronounced words. So let's say you are taking the presentation course. Okay, allow me that you need to move on. Go to that. Okay, so when you get on here, when you open your module, the course you've registered for will show right away. This is the back end of the site. Only you will have access to it because you're a student. Olamide has access to all the courses as well. All of them are showing here. But for you, only the courses you've registered for will show. So let's look at presentation long course, not the short course. Olamide, not the short course, please. Okay, there it is. Okay, so let's say I registered for this course. Now open it. You will find that this course already has more than 30 instructional videos. But you will have access to only about 3 or 4 per week, depending on the curriculum your instructor has put together, so that you don't rush forward. And, okay, hold on. Just click on module 4 and then wait. Now pay attention to what I'm saying. So each week, based on the course outline you will receive tonight, you will see what you are going to be needing to study for the week. And then you can go through the course at your convenience. Okay? I'm assuming you don't want to come into our campuses for a physical instruction. Now, each of the modules, before you move on to another module, you must pass through the assignments given. And the instructor rates your assignment and everything. And it's only when you have been able to successfully complete a module that the system would allow you to move on to what? The next module. The videos are not downloadable, so you will need your password access to be able to access the video. But it enables you to go back time and again for any course that you don't yet, any module you don't understand, you go back many times. And you have access to these videos until maybe a week to the end, after the end of your course. Now let's look at a sample, a short one. Allow me to click on the number 2 of that. Yes, yes, that one. So let's say I want to go through that particular instructional video. I'll go through it. It will play in a moment. Now, this access is available to all students, including in-campus students. So while you will have physical instruction, it's supplemented with the online one. So put it on, please, and expand it to fit the screen. So let's pay attention.
This is Unit 2, still on when it's commonly mispronounced. So let's take a look at another set of 100 words. 101. Months. Months. It's not pronounced. Months. Months. 102. Initiates. Now back to initiates. 103. Forms are available. 104 good lieutenants. Good lieutenants. 105 horses. 90 horses. 106 here again. 07 nurses. Nurses. 108 college. College. 109 target. Target. Number 110 maintenance. What's your maintenance contract? 111 cents. Federal government says it is wrong to say federal government says 112 in spelled A-N, not at. 113 firing from the word fire.
I just wanted to give you thank you very much. Ronnie, then you can stop it there. So we have the presentation course, for instance, has almost 30 of such instructional videos, covers everything. There's also for intermediate presentation, and soon we'll be introducing the advanced presentation course. You have this also, this same format for more than 15 so far. Before the end of the year, we'll have about 30 courses online fully. Now, what happens is that for those who are taking the courses online completely, who are not coming into campus, once every week, the instructor also does a live Zoom class to sum up all you have learned during the week. Is it clear? And I encourage all of you in-campus students to also join those classes. This is available for your video editing class, for your photography class, for is your graphics on? Okay, still being produced. Production class, digital and strategic marketing class, the broadcast engineering class is online fully. Of course, ICT is online also fully. We have so many of them online. And you have this bridge. Now, this is what we're introducing to you is the Harvard online model. And we have modeled everything about WABMA as a mirror of both the Harvard online, the Coursera, and Udemy. And at the end of the day, for each week also, as the course instructor determines, you also get digital materials. So PDF files of your course notes are available. Recordings are also available. You can request for some of those, and the course instructor will be able to deal with your matters accordingly. Okay, so that's the technology behind this. It's a very robust site, very expensive site, and it's actually a portal. Now, it also enables you to interact with your instructor. So you can send in your assignments, you can interact with your fellow students. Any course you have finished, the system can note it for you, so that when you want to register for another course, if you are entitled to a discount, it automatically applies your discount. So please use it properly. And if you need any help, remember all the WABMA numbers. There are people ready to assist you 24/7. You just call or send a message or go through any of our social media platforms and you'll get a response. So that is one aspect of WABMA. This is regular courses, long courses. They run for about 5 weeks, and they run as basic, intermediate, and advanced. Then we have master classes. Master classes are 3 days to 4-day courses. That's a concentration. It's aimed at people already in that field who need a refresher to get them to kickstart again. Let's say you're beginning a new job as maybe, let's say, you've just been hired as a video editor for Mnet and all that, and you really are scared, you don't want to resume and get disgraced. You come to us. You've been just hired as a presenter in a station. You've been hired as a copy editor in a newspaper. And that brings me then to WABMA's uniqueness. Now, WABMA courses are designed for both online media practitioners, electronic media practitioners, and that is what? Radio and what? Television, and print media. And so that's why it's said to be a 360 integrated academy. And so we cover all aspects of media practice, from advertising to public relations and corporate communications to broadcast media to print media and online media. Now, the smallest level of courses we have are the short courses. Short courses are 1 to 2 day courses. And we have a whole lot of this. Nearly 30 of those short courses exist. Courses that include, for instance, how to produce podcasts. We even have short courses on the broadcasting code, where we take the code from chapter 1 to about chapter 14 and break it down for you in detail so that you understand how to practice the profession professionally. Because a professional is not the one who gets into trouble all the time. That person is reckless. A professional is one who knows how to operate within the rules and still achieve excellence. And we believe that the rules are necessary for a sane society. Because when society does not exist, you cannot practice your profession. Go and try practicing broadcasting in Somalia, for instance, or Afghanistan, or countries that have become stateless, and see what happens to you. So we have all those kinds of courses. We have courses on media law, ethics, and professionalism that takes you through all the media laws and rules guiding the industry, both in Nigeria, in Africa, and in the rest of the world. Rules such as slander, and that's of course defamation, libel, which is part of defamation, copyright, issues like that, cyber law, a whole lot of them. Now, beyond all this, the other thing WABMA does is the international partnerships. As many of you are aware, over the past 2 years, WABMA has collaborated with the US Consulate to train nearly 2,000 young people on fact-checking. And this training was conducted in 17 states in Nigeria. And apart from the BBC Media Action, WABMA is the only agency or academy of this level who has been able to successfully conduct such trainings across 17 states in Nigeria. The fact-check training went around about 17 states, and we trained young people and media practitioners, especially radio and television, on how to fact-check information. And it is from that project that the Debunker series began. How many of you get the weekly Debunkers? Where we take, each week we take fake news that is trending on social media, and we verify it for you. We let you know whether it is true or false, and we tell you what is true about it and what is false about it. If you have not subscribed to that, please subscribe follow any of our social media channels, or if you want to receive it directly on WhatsApp every week, please let us know. Right now, we have close to 10,000 people who get that debunker every week. And it's produced right here in WABMA Studios, right here. Okay? Now, we also can train you on that fact checking so that you can learn how to. You can't practice media now. In fact, no international media organization will employ you if you have no certification and ability to fact check. None. Quote me. Now, after that project, we've also done a project with the same US consulate on political reporting, election reporting for 2023. Those trainings concluded just a couple of weeks ago. Since November, we've been going around also 17 states, training radio, TV, and print journalists about how to report the 2023 elections so that they don't burn this country down. Because media, as you know, when you do media and society, which the chairman will talk about later, you understand the power of the media and what it can lead to, and what it actually led to in Somalia when it was, in Rwanda, when it was uncontrolled, and it led to the genocide of Rwanda that led to more than 700,000 people being killed in less than 30 days. If you've never seen one dead body, imagine 10, then imagine 100, then you're not talking about thousands to 700,000. And Rwanda is a country that is smaller than the southeast of Nigeria. That training is ongoing. And as that training is concluding, all the journalists that participated in that training are being onboarded. They could bring the project fact check site. They're also being onboarded to a special website from media practitioners where they will get all the resources they need. And this is the site, it's done by WABMA too, Project Fact Check Nigeria. And you will find hundreds of thousands of materials. So all the journalists we train are onboarded here and they work together as a team. And the final part of that project will happen after the elections. There will be an award ceremony in Lagos where we will award prizes to the best journalists, especially for radio and television, who covered the elections properly. Now, we also have a project with the Ford Foundation of the US. And that project, a core part of it that involved WABMA was the training of young people for political enlightenment. Okay? And those trainings took place, and that project is ongoing. So we have agencies, international agencies approaching us to support this and to work with them. And that's why WABMA Foundation exists, to be able to handle a lot of those. So you have all that. Finally, as I round up, we also have the partnerships we do with schools. So we have partnership with Godfrey Okoye University, for instance, and we are trying to develop others in other places. That partnership is part of WABMA's dedication to being a finishing school. You know, people graduate in mass communications, in law, in other areas of study, and yet they haven't learned public speaking. They have no media literacy. They don't understand how to consume media. So WABMA is a finishing school where, for instance, at Godfrey Okoye University later this year, we'll be training nearly 150 students who will be graduating. We'll take them through a one-week boot camp, and where they will be trained on bits of presentation, production, public speaking, video editing, graphic design, and a few of this. so that as they are stepping into the job market, they are going in with skills rather than with theoretical knowledge. And so on that note, again, I welcome you all, and I want to introduce the team. Allow me, may I have my paper? No, the paper with the names. So I will introduce our special guests. Those of you who are online, you are very privileged today. You'll be meeting the FBI of Nigeria's broadcast industry. The FBI is the most well-known, via Hollywood, the most well-known police service in the world, isn't it? People often think they're a secret service. No, the FBI is actually just the federal police in the US, okay? They are called the FBI. In Nigeria, we have the National Broadcasting Commission. And a team has come all the way from Abuja to visit WABMA to inspect our facilities. Incidentally, they're coming on a day when the orientation for new students for this quarter is just beginning. And so you have students from different parts of the world who are joined online, and those of them here in Enugu are here. And that's why we wanted you to meet them, because this ceremony ought to end at 1. And so we have to keep them. So this leading the team is the Director of Broadcast Policy and Research, Mrs. Stella Ehumwese. Please welcome Mrs. Ehumwese. All right, can you show her so that they can see her online? All right. All right, madam, you're welcome to Enugu and to WABMA. All right. And then, as many of you know, the National Broadcasting Commission has zonal stations across Nigeria. And the zonal director at National Broadcasting Commission, Enugu, is Mrs. Ijoma Fio Obodo. You are welcome, madam. Welcome. Not a problem. You are welcome. Thanks for joining us. And of course, nothing works without technical people. Nothing works without engineering services. And the team from Abuja, among the team from Abuja is Mrs. Ruth N. Caleb, who is the Deputy Director, Engineering Services, FDC. You're welcome. Madam, before you just make a short address, I just want a few of the students to introduce themselves. We have students in Abuja, right? Who is in Abuja who wants to speak for a minute? In Lagos, who wants to speak? Just introduce yourself and what course you registered for and what your expectations are. Or just 1 or 2 persons? Right? Allow me to please find out who wants to speak. Okay. She hasn't unmuted. Ngozi Miriam, are you ready to speak? Unmute yourself, please. Unmute yourself. Okay.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon.
My name is Ngozi.
I think our network is problematic. Ngozi, is your network full over there? All right, while she checks that, who else? In Abuja, are you ready? photography what? Okay. Ngozi's network is not clear. Okay. Well, let's take from here. So let's take 2 or 3 students. Please just introduce yourself and let us know what I know. I've worked professionally with Dr. Ojukwu when I was zonal director here. And it's a pleasure to see you. And your husband is here too. So let me give you the mic. Tell us what courses you registered for and what your expectations are.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Chidebelo Ojukwu. I registered for the photography course. Thank you. Okay, because my husband is a movie producer and he also wants to set up a studio for photography, videography, and cinematography. So I want to be a perfect helpmate. That's why I registered.
Thank you. All right. Any other person? All right.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ogochukwu Faith Ogo. I registered for journalism, and I hope that at the end of this course, I'll be able to learn how to practice journalism very well and how to be a professional in that area.
Thank you very much. I know we have some people from Lion FM Osaka. Anyone? Are they gone? And then some people are okay, you are from Lion FM Osaka and others. Okay, because of time, I know when time is fast spent, I'm going to invite the leader of the NBC team to just advise you, speak to you briefly, and then we'll ending up with the chairman of the board of WABMA, who is also here. I will introduce him right after Madam. Please welcome Mrs. Stella. Am I getting it right?
Thank you. Stella Erunse. Pleased to meet you. I want to really thank God. It's a great opportunity for us to be here, to see our veteran, in fact, ancestors, we call them ancestors. Ancestors of broadcasting is a great privilege, and we are not taking it for granted. So thank you, sir, for still making yourself available to teach us, to help us to be on the right path. Thank you. And Mr. Okere, thank you so much. In fact, your dedication to this work is second to none. I must say that, because he's been in touch with us. We've been communicating even while he was away. We've been talking because he's interested in seeing the industry, you know, go the right way. So we want to really thank you all. And I also want to thank all of you that have taken time to be here. You know, whatever you needed to give to it, whether financially or your time, you have made it possible. You have given yourself that task to be here. And I know that you're not going to regret it. I want to advise us that we will not keep it to ourselves alone. We should spread it to others, because there are so many people who are not aware of this great institute. And so now that you have the opportunity to participate in it, don't keep it to yourself. Keep sharing about it with to other people. And the NBC, the regulator, it's just unfortunate that what people know here NBC is they sanction this station, they sanction that station. But that's not the purpose of regulation. The purpose of regulation is nurturing the industry. The purpose is to protect broadcasters or the broadcast industry. But you cannot just do that without calling those who are not doing it right to order. And that's where you often hear about sanctions coming up. Other areas where we organize training, call people for one summit or the other. Many times broadcasters are silent about broadcasting that. But anytime you hear NBC sanctioned this station, it will be all over. So one other thing the NBC is set to do to further professionalize the industry is to have an institute, which is called Nigeria Broadcast Institute. The essence is that the over 30 years of broadcast regulation in Nigeria has really given the NBC a measure of experience in broadcast regulation. And there have been so many calls for the NBC to establish this kind of institute to help broadcasters, because like you heard our Oga, Mr. Okere, saying that a good broadcaster is not the one that every time he's committing blunders. Yes. So, and you find out that there are some stations that often, from time to time, they are doing one thing or the other, breaching the broadcasting code. And we felt that it is time for us to, help broadcasters to know, to further professionalize. We are going to, it's an institute that is going to collaborate with our ancestors, our veterans, so that what they used to do in those days that made them stand out, that made them, very good, very professional in the industry, they will be able to impact on the younger generation through this institute. Coming here today, I see that a lot is being done here. So we will enter into talks with the institute, and we'll see how the NBI too will be of great help to the industry. Thank you very much for this opportunity for us to interact with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. And thank you very much. Now, to round up, I want to invite the chairman of the board of directors or board of trustees of the West Africa Broadcast and Media Academy. Those of you who don't know him because you are young and in the industry, you only need to Google Kevin Ejiofor. But Kevin Ejiofor, just a few bits of information for you. Retired as the acting director general of the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria. He was before then executive director, FRCN, here in the Southeast and then South, then just known as Radio Nigeria Eastern Zone, covering the whole of the East and the whole of the South. Okay? But he didn't remain only in broadcasting. He was also corporate communications manager for Cadbury PLC, the multinational. He also served Enugu State as director of information and many, many other things. He was the founder of City FM Lagos and co-founder of several other media establishments. He was also co-founder of Dream FM Enugu. which is one of the top stations here in Enugu. I'm pleased to welcome my boss, one that people call the living ancestor. You know, ancestors have normally passed on. This one is a living ancestor. And those who know will tell you, you will never talk about radio, TV, and broadcasting in Nigeria without talking about the great Kevin Ejiofor. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. You all now know why Nigeria is being misgoverned. This kind of thing. You see them in Abuja and say, Oga, you are the only one, the best man in the world, minister, distinguished, honorable. I'm Kevin Ejiofor. I'm proud to be a broadcaster. Just leave it at that. Please sit down. Please sit down. I like the term ancestor. Who are the Igbos here? Good. Bottle of palm wine every month. You know how to do it by pour libation. And so that they are never thirsty. So make sure I never text you. Otherwise, I won't answer answers to anything like that. Please permit me to introduce others who work with us on the board. Our latest brain. It's difficult to describe Joe Barry. Joe, I've known him from the younger days, was then what we call a cop reporter in The Guardian. Now he's a lawyer, now he's a trainer, but we are glad to welcome him as the COO of WABMA. Mr. Joe Barry, please, everybody. Have you ever heard what's the proper name for that instrument? That's the Igbo one now. Nigerian one. Broadcasters. Kakaki, simple matter. That's the Hausa name for trumpet. That's Kakaki. Jekato. He was once the host of Kaki, was once in NTA, he was in MP.
Founder, of course, Cosmo FM, yeah.
Well, many FM stations are founded, Cosmo, and the one in what's it called? Anambra State, and so on and so forth. So what I'm trying to tell you is that we have ancestors, but you've seen this young man here, you've seen Olamide, you've seen this
Olamide, we are asking for you.
The man who introduced me. For those of you who are Igbo, you know what we call him? Okuna Bozara. So then, Olamide, we are not only ancestors and babies, we are national. Olamide and Shakirat are the grounding of WABMA. They came to serve here. When did you come to serve here as a youth? 2019. I have he runs my life. So you can imagine that. So we are old, we are young, and we are not old school. We are all schools. Video editing, there was nothing like that when I was there. There was nothing like video editing. In the days when I was there, if there's an event, I was scribbling fast and listening to the man speaking and so on. And as you are writing, you are thinking, where is the internet telephone? Because you have to go and phone in your story. You jump into a taxi and run to wherever, phone in and say, I have a breaking news and so on and so forth. Until very recently, remember what happened in Oka? Oka was where the kidnapping actually started in Oka. So where the government kidnapped the government. It happened at about 1 o'clock. I left my office, I was going for lunch. Got down to my office quarters there, and the phone rang. It was DG, Adiro. No, it was a rest there from Oka. Sir, something strange is happening here. Police have surrounded the office of the governor. I don't know what's happening. He said, you don't know what is happening? and so on and so forth, and just into my car, drove back to the office, and told the newsroom, take no calls from anybody except Oka for the next 1 hour. Take no calls. And called Rex and said, if anybody breaks for you, you are sacked. But when you break the story, I will give you money that you will not forget. So I stayed on the line. The cell phones were just coming there. And then he called me to say the man had been taken away by the police, and so on, and so on, and so forth. So I called Ediro and said, look, it's what's happening. Ediro was at lunch. I could actually hear his cutlery crash on his table. As he ran out, jumped into the car, straight to the newsroom. Got to the newsroom, a radio house. Take no calls except from Enugu. Take no calls from anybody in Enugu. From there, he got a small tape recorder. We don't have all this then. All the smartphones were just coming in there. He took the thing, ran to PDP headquarters, entered PDP headquarters. Mrs. Anani just came out. DG, what are you doing here? I need to speak to the chairman. They took him into the office. Then, exactly at that moment when was Vincent Ogula had just dropped the phone, talking to Ngige, who was reporting that he had been kidnapped. He was asking permission to be taken to Abba for his home. And they said, get him back. He got him back and he told Ngige, tell me the story. In the meantime, the chief judge of Anambra State was driving to the house to swear in the acting governor, thinking that they had succeeded. When he now heard Radio Nigeria broadcasting Ngige's voice, saying that I have just been kidnapped, that this and that and that, that's how the story went. Why am I telling you this? Media and society. He has mentioned Rwanda. Before all of this happened in 1933, it was the beginnings of radio. A book written by A.G. Wells, the invasion of the world from Mars, was being voiced by Orson Welles. Orson Welles is an actor with a great voice and was telling the story. And people in New York were running out of their houses thinking that Martians had landed on Earth. There are many examples when we get to the course. You will learn about why you are important. I ask children when they come here, why do you want to be a broadcaster? Can I ask you? What course did you register for? Huh? Production. Why do you want to be a producer? Presenting. Why do you like presenting? That's one of the best answers I ever got. Mostly, people want to be presented to be well known, to be celebrities. As somebody put it recently, nowadays you worship celebrities, you don't even remember to worship the Almighty God. So people want to be known. People want to be called celebrities. That's it. I will lead you to a time where you will understand that that's the least reason why you want to be broadcasting, why you want to be a member who is in media. The least of reasons. It will not help you become a professional. What's a professional? Yes. Somebody who has gone through the course of training, knowing the why, understanding the concepts in order to be able to do the business. But also learning about the values, the rules, the do's and don'ts of how to build. Believe me, the conclusion of my course is that it is better to be a professional first before seeking to be a celebrity. In fact, you don't need to be a celebrity once you're a professional. You can come by yourself. Welcome to WABMA. We were supposed to start with this, but now ending with this is now a vote of thanks. Thank you from the NDC. We've seen what we do. I thank my, they call me the Oga. Usually, those who work, those that are doing the work well, that means they earn it from good work. This is the man we call Kapuna Motala in Igbo. Mhm. Can you translate that? I'm sorry. You know what Ozala is? The open grassland. The fire that eats up everything, the trees, everything. This one, don't talk about him. Thank you, everybody. I hope this goes well. WABMA will grow. We are hoping to become a partner with others in the development of the media industry. If you are old enough, there was a time we used to talk about the information age. All right? We're now in the digital age. What does the digital capacity enable you to do? Inform, entertain, educate, and so on. If you don't think about that, those three phrases, very trite phrases, deeply, we hope will help you. If you don't think about it deeply, you are not going to get very far. But when you do, you will know that this is the best job in the world you have done. I can tell you that. Because as I told you, I've worked in other places. I've been in Catherine, I was the director of commission for the Foreign Aircraft Day, and all that. I've done my own little bit, owning my things and so on. But this is one job. Well, it's all part of information industry where you love what you do. Not love what you earn from it or the position it gives you. It is in the doing that the job is better. Not the effect. When you now know the effect, so I have a note here. I haven't got my glasses. Sorry, I forgot it. All right. So, welcome. Thank you. I hope we're giving you a picture of what we do. NBC, when I was an ordinary veteran, I used to work closely with NBC. It's a pleasure always, but my home is in. Okay. So, Ken, anyway, over to you.
All right.
Ken, I first met him in Abuja. My greatest pride in him is that I was one who created the position, and he said, go and apply. As I was leaving for broadcasting, I said, go and apply. And warned him about some of the things he's meeting now. Long before he started meeting them, told him what it was. He applied. I came back from where I went. They said he was the best candidate. I said, give me. He said, the spot I was on my way. Karen. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, Kevin Ejiofor. Kevin turned 85 this year. And he still runs the marathon. Blessedness is blessedness. So thank you all very much. It's been a long day. So we're going to end here. And please, before you leave, just get the contact of your instructor and structure your class accordingly, and then we can start working together. Again, on behalf of, let me ask the registrar to give his contact. So any of you who really need to reach him, Barrister Joe is the registrar of WABMA. He's based in Abuja. So is there any announcements or anything?
It's essentially, if you could just take my phone number, 0803 400 4262. 400 4262. 0803 4262. And my email address is JOLLOBARI@hotmail.com. Yeah, hotmail.com. Yeah, JOLLOBARI@hotmail.com. It's a pleasure having you. Sorry, the name? Joseph Obari. OBARI. All right, so I wish you all the best in your sessions, and I'm sure you gain maximally from this. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. I'll just give you a briefing on your timetable. So I think almost all the instructors didn't give you that. So for presentation, basic presentation, those in campus, your days are Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Okay? Those in campus. Then the presentation, basic presentation, the timetable for that. Okay. For graphics design, for graphics design, we have Friday for this week, Fridays and Saturdays. Okay. For next week, you want to write it down? Okay. Fridays and Saturdays. This is for both online and those in campus. Fridays and Saturday this week. Week 2, Wednesday and Friday. Week 2. So week 1, we have Friday and Saturday. Week 2, Wednesday and Friday. Week 3, Thursday and Friday. Week 3, Thursday and Friday. Week 4, Friday and Saturday. Week 4, Friday and Saturday. Week 5, Friday and Saturday. Okay. And for photography, come, please. For photography, come and give them the timetable. Days. Tell them the days they are here. The days they will have this week's on. Okay, tomorrow and Friday. Okay, for this week. Okay. Time. 11. Actually, we have 11 to 3. 11 to 3, the classes. All the classes, yes. 11. Yes, the WhatsApp group will be created today. So everyone will be in the same boat, those online and so if there's any change in schedule, they will let you know. Okay. Video editing, Mr. Pyong is online. So all online courses are usually every time we go. And then the live Zoom is Friday. Basic presentation. On the live Zoom class is Friday, and they share it in your WhatsApp group. Okay. Do you have any questions? Yes. And if you have been assigned to your given this thing to your dashboard, please. Every week you get to watch all those videos you're assigned to. Don't fail, please. Any other question? Who? See graphics design? Okay. Okay, see graphic design. Yeah, beside you. Yes. Video editing, I'll give you his number. But we are putting you in the same WhatsApp group with him, so you have the before the end of today, please. Any other question? Thank you all so much, and I hope that this is going to be a smooth ride for all of us. If at the end of the course you want to go for internship, you apply to us and we place you on internship. It's optional, so it's not compulsory. Okay, so you apply to us, tell us the town where you would like to do the internship, and we take it up from there. Thank you all so much. It was wonderful seeing you all today. I only have meat pie and water for you. Please forgive me. I thought we'd be having a tea break, so I prepared tea in the other place. So it has been going on and on and on. So I just give you water and meat pie. Thank you all so much for coming around, and see